Saturday. It's a wet and coldish Saturday here. After a couple of days of actually being in the 90s, low 90s Fahrenheit for my Celsius friends, of which there seems to be many. Excuse me. So we're going to do a quick cruise on YouTube. See if any of our friends are live. And if that being the case, we'll bring them up. So, sorry. Starting off quiet. People might be popping in and thinking, man, this guy's not even talking. Sometimes it's like that. We'll let the conversation develop as it does on its own without need of forcing it, making it something that it isn't yet, if that makes sense. Our friend Kay is here. Kay says, good morning, Yogi and chat. How are you today, Kay? I'm doing a quick scan on YouTube, just seeing if we had any of our friends who were doing any live sessions. And if that was the case, I would bring them up. So at the very least, we can give them some watch hours. Kay says, like and share done. Thank you. I appreciate that. And she says that she's great. I'm doing pretty well, too. I was just saying, though, we had 2 or 3 days this week in the 90s. I think it hit 91 up here 2 days ago. The day before that, it was another day of 90. And today, I'm not even sure if it's going to break 55. And it's raining out. Weird weather. Our friend Flower is here. Flower says, how are you? I'm good, Flower. How are you? Kay says that the Jay Jordan Spartan event is going, but his connection dropped, so we are holding the chat down for him. I saw that had come up, and I clicked on it, and nothing was going on.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Big Wireless has once again raised their prices.
Let's see. Yep, I see it's still not up. How is the weather for everyone? Kay is saying hi to Flower. And Flower is identifying herself, one of her many, many identities. Definitely 3, maybe 4. Might be 4 versions of Flower, but it's all the same Flower. The essential essence of Flower. I think at this point we would, in a short order of time, we would all be able to identify Flower. She's very distinct in her presence. So I'm feeling a bit spacious, a bit open in a good way, but no particular thing is occurring to me to talk about, which isn't bad, except it's a live conversation. So I don't mind sharing silence. I also don't mind answering questions if anyone has any questions about anything, even things I don't know anything about. And I'm happy to talk about it. I might have to make something up. We got our friend, It Is What It Is, getting ready to do some live burpees. So also, feel free to slip on over and show some support and some love. It says 110, so not quite yet, but soon. No, wait a minute. Yeah, that's today, the 4th. Now he says he's doing it with the J. Today is see if Thou says I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm glad you're doing good. Thank you. I got out, did 2 walks. One early before the sun came up. The world was still asleep except for me and the animals. And then I had another walk with Milka and Misty, and we got out. I saw some new baby ducks. Well, I'm sorry, baby geese, goslings. Lots of birds. I saw the cormorant. Cormorant is it's a waterfowl that looks almost prehistoric. Amazing bird. Looks like a darker goose. But its wings aren't waterproof like a duck or a goose. So it can only dry them out by spreading the wings and getting some sun. Unfortunately, there was no sun today. But she still managed to fly away. I got some great film. I'll be posting that later. Kay says, I'll stop over there and support for a bit to Lewis. Tell Lewis I said hi. And I'll pop on and leave a comment to let him know that I'll have him up and running. Flower says, I'm happy that I found your Facebook. Me too. That's me sort of in real life, as real life as social media ever gets. I actually enjoy getting out in the rain, walking, and seeing some things that you're only going to see when it's raining. What a shame it would be to miss that. So here is It Is What It Is. He's got his 100% pure, raw, and unfiltered honey for fuel. Let me just give a quick message. Letting him know that I got him up and running. Showing some support for the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the family of burpeedom. Hey, Flower, when are we going to get to see you doing your, I can't remember the name of it. Not the robotics, but the, why can't I think of the name of it? Oh, well. Our friend Goldie's here. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. And Goldie, how are you? For those who don't know, today is the day before Easter for Goldie. Goldie celebrates the Orthodox, based upon, as we discovered, the Gregorian calendar. Easter's a beautiful holiday, I think. Represents all of Christianity, all of the teachings of Jesus, from uh, Good Friday all the way to Easter Sunday. Goldie says, I've been chilling after I've been cooking all day. Flower says, quads. Yes, quads. Quadrobics. Sorry, I forgot. I knew the robotics. Quadrobics. Do you have people coming over, Goldie? Dinner with your or celebration dinner, holiday dinner with your daughter. Night Watcher's here, saying hello. Night Watcher, how are you? Hope you're having a quiet day. Goldie says, Eric, look it up. Um, might have been Good Thursday if the 14th of um, Nisan, I think I'm saying that right, fell on a Friday. Don't see anything yet. I'll have to keep looking. I'll dig deeper. I do see Holy Thursday, which commemorates the events known as the washing of the feet and the Last Supper. Night Watcher says he's good. Nobody says it might have been two Shabbats, one after the other. Interesting. Night Watcher says it is not Nisan, it is Nisan. '14 of Nisan, when the Jewish people celebrate Passover. Gonna see what comes up. So, as mentioned at the beginning, I'm feeling a little bit I don't know, not spacey, not just silent, if that makes sense. I'm feeling just a little bit silent, not in a bad way at all. And so it might make for an interesting conversation with my friends. I enjoyed the talk of Marvel last night. I like when our conversations take interesting turns where we don't know exactly where they might be heading. Goldie says, hi there, Night Watcher. And you might be right when you correct me on spelling. I think he was more correcting my pronunciation, which um, is happening more and more. Um, Night Watcher says, Yogi, you skipped the pronunciation. Yeah, sometimes it's a struggle, Night Watcher. Um, Not in a bad way, but um, you get where I don't feel like I don't know, holding myself to correction. I'm not certainly I'm not above correction, um, and I don't mind it. But at a certain point, you sort of just want to give it up because I know I'm not going to say it right. So um, why give myself to the struggle repeatedly? I do it out of respect to everyone to come here, and especially that because it's a holy tradition for so many, and it deserves that respect. But with some words, and sometimes, especially because I can only read it, um, it always works better when I hear something and then I can repeat it after a person. But when I'm just reading it, I know it might not come out right. So um, to avoid the frustration, not so much on my part. Um, Trust me when I say I'm perfectly happy. One, I'm perfectly happy being corrected. I'm perfectly happy mispronouncing things. And I call myself out on it all the time, especially being a yogi that after 40 years mispronounces Sanskrit names. Um, so sometimes I just give myself a break. I know it's going to be a struggle, and instead of pushing and pushing and pushing, I just sort of relax with it. If that makes sense to you guys. Yep, Night Watcher says Gordy was just telling the pronunciation. Night Watcher says he's having a fun day, a very nice day, in fact. That's good. You deserve one. You've had a couple rough days. We can all and we can all use an easy day every once in a while. I haven't heard of Discord. I've heard you guys mention it before. Um, yeah, so I thought since I'm feeling more in a silent mood, which again is a weird thing to offer on a live stream, that it might be more of a responsive conversation. That I'm happy to um, respond to any questions or statements or um, past conversations that we had. Anything anyone wants to talk about. I sort of want to open it up. I've noticed that um, we've had some new people pop in from time to time, which is always fun. And I think some of them, last night, we had a new friend, the Godzilla um, young man, pop in to talk um, to talk about movies and other stuff. But we ended up having a nice conversation about the Marvel universe, the decline of Marvel universe at the hands of Disney. And he ended up subscribing, so hopefully we'll see him. And our friend Laradox, who actually came in here to point the way towards Christianity to me, concerned, concerned for my the well-being of my soul, but ended up offering quite a bit to a lot of conversations. And I think he may have realized that I'm not going to be converted, but that I think my soul is in pretty safe hands. I absolutely treasure the teachings of Jesus and always will. I don't feel that so much I left the church as that I went a different direction and yet carried it with me. Carried, maybe not to church, but carried Jesus with me. Night Watcher says, just for the record, 1915, short for a list of mythical creatures. You know I'm not going to be able to read all of that or pronounce all of that. So there is a list of magical creatures. Awesome. There's a long list of magical creatures. Hey, Puka. Puka. I absolutely love pukas, especially in Celtic mythology. I wrote a bit about it. I guess it was a year ago because I was writing about rabbits and my deep love of wild rabbits, all rabbits, but wild rabbits particularly. I don't know if you guys ever saw, well, probably not, maybe Goldie. I think it came out in early 1950s, maybe late 40s. The movie Harvey with Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Stewart was friends with an invisible 6 foot tall rabbit. The rabbit was a puka. I mentioned before, there comes a certain time in our lives when we become sort of, we move away from the world being a magical place. I talked of Anthony DeMello, who was a Jesuit priest, since passed away. But he was also from India. And he held many Vedic yoga, Buddhist concepts, as well as fully embracing the life of a Jesuit priest and the deep, deep love of Jesus. And he often told a story that when we were kids, we would look up in the sky and see the magical winged feather creatures soaring, playing on the breeze, and never tired of it. And so one day a well-meaning adult came by and said, that's a sparrow. And the very act of labeling, the very act of giving something a name seemed to diminish the magic a bit, which is why, in Taoism, they say the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. Or in Hebrew, they leave out the O when they spell God. There's a teaching in Vedanta that we're better served by saying God is and never finishing that sentence, because anything that we add to it is just a description. God is, and then we just have to look around and we see everything that God is. It doesn't actually need that label. So when we labeled that magical creature, it just was slightly diminished. Not in reality. In reality, every bird is still a beautiful, beautiful creature of God. But we have a tendency to give up on things that are labeled. So we can become re-enchanted, though, with the world. And that happened to me. I don't think I was ever fully unenchanted, but I think I was headed in that direction. And then around 11 or so, certain key moments, key magical and mysterious moments, I think in all of our lives, but one of them for me was staying up late, wasn't supposed to. I had a little black and white TV, and the movie Harvey came on. And I don't know why. It just struck my fancy and caused me to get re-enchanted with the magic of the world, the mystery of the world, no longer needing explanations or labels. So sorry I missed some of the conversation. So I appreciate that list. Flower says I'm highly into the magical world. That's awesome. And I hope you hold on to that. Goldie says Jesus shouldn't be closed in a box or in a building. You know, another thing I wrote about in my blog, and maybe it was a year or so ago as well, Jesus always turned to nature when he needed guidance from his Father. He didn't go into a temple. He didn't enter a building to pray. He went out into the desert. He went out into the wilderness. Um, so once again, Goldie said Jesus shouldn't be closed in a box or a building. As always, Goldie has a beautiful way of summing things up. Goldie says in Hebrew they have no vowels. No, no vowels is crazy, says Night Watcher. No written symbols for vowels. Now I had read the reason is that the reason for that, and I could be wrong about it, was the refusal to offer a description, a complete description of God. We can look that up too. Don't know what I would do without Google and Wikipedia. Now, one of the things that came up is why are there no volcanoes in the Himalayas? Which is a good question. I don't know why there are no volcanoes in the Himalayas. So this is interesting. The Torah doesn't have vowels because the Hebrew alphabet doesn't have them. However, the rabbis believe that they lack the vowels simply for multiple, because it allows for multiple interpretations of the text, and that arranging the vowels can reveal new dimensions. The process is called mikra, M-I-K-R-A, in the Talmud, and Masoret, sorry. For example, the rabbis contrast the way a word is pronounced with other possible ways of pronouncing it. Hey, that's right up my alley. Other possible ways of pronouncing it. I almost said mispronouncing it. Andy McFarland is here. Amy McFarland is here. Amy, how are you? Nice to see you. I was visiting your channel this morning. Amy has an awesome wood carving channel. You guys should definitely go visit. Gordy says, hi there, Amy. This is a pretty artistic group we have going on today. Everyone is welcoming. As always, it's a great group of people that end up here. Goldie says, up a mountain, in the wilderness, in the garden. Which just always struck me as absolutely beautiful. As well as a great example that maybe, perhaps, definitely, the greatest church of all is simply being in God's creation. That's why our friend Amy works with wood. That just seems like such a marvelous thing to do. to have your hands. That's why I love those gardening channels so much. Our friend Odom, our friend Kay, have your hands in the dirt, feeling the sun, feeling the rain, knowing all of that, all of God's handiwork is nourishing the food that you're growing, the flowers that you're um, watching. But what he says, I'm not planning on going down a rabbit hole now because I'm planning to learn Hebrew after I turn 50. Hey, that's pretty cool. I read a bit on Kabbalah before our friend Nightwatcher calls me out on mispronouncing yet another word. So I should just put on the next time I do just a Yogi going live, I'm going to have just a Yogi is going live and mispronouncing words. And that way it'll all be cleared up. Everyone will know. I usually announce it, especially when I'm talking about yoga. I'll let people know, hey, this is going to be mispronounced. I apologize. I'm sorry. Amy says, thank you for the shout out. You're quite welcome, my friend. I absolutely love those kind of channels. And I fully plan on giving you support because, man, I think every artist deserves it, most definitely. And I think the people that are doing artwork that is a little bit of a twist from the norm, something, for one, I love the passion that people put into any type of artwork. You're feeding it with your soul. That's the beauty of artwork. It's being fed by the soul. Amy says, interesting. I didn't know that. Unlimited possibilities. That reminds me of, I can't think of his name, of writer from the Beat generation. So from the 1940s, actually all the way up. We can figure it out in a minute here. Part of the way he wrote was, I think he called it cutting or slicing, and he would take books and magazines and newspapers and just cut out words and then arrange it. And then he would write an entire piece like that. So I forget what it was called, but we'll look it up. It was William S. Burroughs who wrote The Naked Lunch. And I think it was called Cutting. And I always wanted to try it, but I never actually have gotten around. The cut-up method. It just amazes me for him, it was a mystical way of writing because he felt that there was an energy that would guide his hand from those letters and help give it shape. Our friend Goldie was so kind as to drop the link for Amy. I hope you guys definitely go there. Amy beautifully says, God lives within. Everything we experience is a spiritual experience. Most just don't take the time to notice. That reminds me of what Pierre de Chardin Talahad, I think, had said that and it was later quoted by Wayne Dyer, that we aren't human beings who have spiritual experiences. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. I think one of the big things, one of the big issues that causes a lot of the anxiety and the fearfulness that we experience in the world is the belief that we are living lives separate from God. Gordy says, IT learning an entirely new language and alphabet after I turned 50. It'll definitely help keep the brain young. As well, Hebrew is a sacred language. Um, so I think it can only enhance your, especially after the age of 50. In yogic tradition, that's when you are supposed to. There's a certain time you focus on career, you focus on family, doing your duties that we all have to perform. And then after the age of 50 is when you start turning back towards God, surrendering your life. Now, God, my life is yours. I don't know if I hold that 100% because I think at any time in life we can just say, now, God, my life is yours, and then live it. That has been my intent for quite some time, and it's turning more and more into a reality. So, man, I think learning Hebrew after the age of 50 is just a really cool thing to do. Night Watcher says, I didn't even understand what you said. What is Kabbalah? Kabbalah with B's instead of V's. Kabblha, I believe. It is the mystical teachings of Judaism. So Christianity has the Desert Fathers, the Christian mystics, Meister Eckhart, St. John of the Cross, St. Teresa, two St. Teresas, actually. Whoever, the anonymous writer of the Cloud of Unknowing, which is a beautiful Christian mystical text. And then Judaism had Kabbalah. Yoga itself can often be viewed as the mystical tradition of Hinduism. Although most yogis, most people, deep practitioners of yoga would say otherwise, that it's its own thing. Yoga by rights is more of a psychology of God than it is a philosophy of any religion. Flower says, I'm a AFK for a few minutes, and I'm trying to remember what AFK means. Gordy says, IT was in the spelling. So, yeah, I was thinking I'll go is here. I'll go, how are you? You feeling better today? I know, was yesterday or the day before? I get my days mixed up. Was a bit rough. Your neck was sore from sleeping on the couch. You had a headache, a little under the weather. Night Watcher says, I don't know about Kabbalah. It actually has some really beautiful teachings. One of the things I always loved was the belief that there is the infinite and the finite world, that reality is the infinite, 99% world, and this world is only the 1% world, a sliver of reality. And that every time we forgive, every time that we offer love, every time that we make a decision or choice based upon love, that we bring a little bit of that 99% into this 1%. And that our mission in life is to fully merge that 99% or bring that 1% into the 99%, so that it's not truly separate, but our perception of it is separate. Within each of those traditions, each of those mystical traditions, there's an insight of truth that we can apply. It was Meister Eckhart who said the eye in which I see God is the same eye in which God sees me. So, William S. Burroughs wrote Naked Lunch, The Cut-Up Method. I just love that type of innovative thought. And I love when it comes to other things as well. The reason I'm bringing that up again is because of our friend Holgo, who I think had the same thing with his sculpting, an innovative thought of how he wanted to approach art, a completely different way. Again, no pressure, but man, I really hope you decide to do some sharing. Our friend Nightwatcher is a very fine artist as well. So we had some good friends live. I mentioned our friend It Is What It Is. He's getting his burpees in. Did I miss making sure I didn't miss anything? It seems like I have. I have on my desktop, I have the live chat up because I'd like to click on some of the channels that we're talking about. And I'm afraid if I try to do that on my phone, I'll disconnect the conversation, which I've done before. And I see that our friend Brian Lane is here. Brian, how are you? Brian says, this is why I'm looking both ways. Sorry. That he thought he'd stop by before he cut the grass, go to work today. Brian, what do you do for work? I've never asked you that before, and I apologize. There's probably a way of refreshing my phone that would bring the rest of the chat up, but I don't know how to do it. So I'll just read it off of my desktop, which works just as well. It might be, I don't know if it's distracting for you guys seeing me look away. Nightwatcher says there's something similar in Islam, saying that he's Muslim, by the way. I figured so with your the salutation that you offer us. In Islam, we believe the seven skies. The first sky is our universe, and all the other skies are places for angels to stay. That's beautiful. I like that. As well, Islam has the mystical tradition of Sufism, which is a beautiful expression of God. He continues that, and randomly in between all those seven skies are two of them are hell and heaven. Flower is back. Welcome back, Flower. Night Watcher says heaven is called Jahana. Did I say that right? And hell is called Jahanta. Nope. Jahanat. Hanat. Pardon my mispronunciation. And welcome back, Flower. So I pressed the button. This is why I don't press buttons when we're live. I pressed the button to see if it would refresh, and instead it switched to view. As you can tell, as Holger will remember, I have mentioned that I should be kept a good 10-foot radius away from all electronics. Amy says, I have to go. It was wonderful to connect with you. I'll be live tonight. Hope to see you there. God bless. God bless you as well, my friend. And I will look for you. Depending on your time zone, your tonight might be my fast asleep as I go to bed really early. Guys, if you get a chance, definitely check out Amy's channel. I just popped it up right now. She is a squirrel, SCROLL, saw newbie. Although, when you see her work, very intricate, very skillful. Our friend It Is What It Is still up and running. And Goldie, once more, put up the link. Thank you for that, Goldie. Flower says bye. Brian says, hey guys, I stopped by Lewis's live. Hope you're having a great day. Yep, I've been having him up and running and pop in. Amy says 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nice to know that we're in the same time zone. 7 is just about when I go to bed. But if I get the opportunity before I go to bed, I will bring you up. At the very least, say hi, lend some support, and let you know that I'm there. Sometimes, man, in this world, regardless of social media, regardless of being on YouTube or not, just letting someone know that you're present, that you care about what they're doing is a nice gift to offer someone. Goldie says it would be my fast asleep for sure. Sorry for the beeping. I got a message from Milka, and we got a message from Flower. Flower is on Facebook and a Facebook friend. So where was I? Oh, yeah, little things, little show of supports. Man, Goldie has helped me out. Let me give you guys a little bit of an update. with watch hours. Um, and right now, I am at 2,620, with the goal being 4,000. 3,000 is a milestone as well. You do your first approach to um, monetizing. I don't know what you get, but it's a milestone. I'm almost there. I think I could reach 3,000 in 2 weeks' time. I think I can reach 4,000 full monetizing by June. That's the plan. Putting it out there because when I see Goldie leaving a message, watching, just knowing that she was there, that she cared enough, that there's a Goldie in this world, that there's a person who just wants to lend a hand, wants to do an act of kindness, and is a friend, is enough. Um, Sometimes it's enough to bridge a gap of feeling down and feeling that, there's hope in the world for all of us. So small gestures carry a lot of weight. And I appreciate every single one, be it just someone like Amy stopping by to say hi, um, being the fact that Flower um, came by Facebook to send me a message, and she just sent a message to say hi. Um, and that Goldie takes time out of her day. Simple yet beautiful, profound thing to do. Um, hey, my friend Elise is here. Elise, how are you? Sorry if it seems if I'm distracted. For some reason, my phone is no longer bringing up every message, so I'm relying on my desktop. We got a whole lot of people saying hi, which is always good. Brian says Miss Destiny is on um, Lewis's live, just saw. And Brian kindly said, see, another thing. Brian just very kindly said, don't forget to smash the like button. Something that I often forget to say, but I always have a friend on this chat who has my back and does that. Which inspires and inspires and inspires. I want to do the same thing for everyone. I just met Amy, maybe just a couple of days ago, but I see that artwork, and all I can think is, one, the inspiration that it invokes in me, and two, man, I really, really think other people, because art speaks straight to the heart. It uplifts. Let's see, I'm trying to catch up here. I know that I'm behind. I apologize. Nightwatcher says, I like so much that my nickname is Phil K. Shite. Huh, where'd you get that nickname? Nightwatcher says, I'm not a liar. I would never think you were. Flower says, I sent a text. Goldie says, still working on that playlist. I think I entered the last 100. Man, I really appreciate that. And Elise says, yay, to watch hours. Let's go. I will be watching your playlist all day while at Keaton's. I appreciate that too. Talking to those little things, those small acts of grace. Elise's entire life is filled with them. Elise would drop by just to give my father a hug, which would make his day. Knowing that someone, my father was pretty stoic, and he lost his wife of 50 years, Alzheimer's. Never saw him get impatient. Never snapped at my mom. Never, you know, Alzheimer's is a it can be tough on caregivers, on familiar caregivers who aren't professionals. A loving husband, a son, um, you know, or wife. When you're put in that position, um, you do your best, but sometimes you lose your temper. Not your temper, your patience. Never with my dad, and it was a great, great inspiration inspiration for me to do likewise. So again, I'm behind. I apologize. I'm catching up with everyone's comment. Lee says, "Thank you, Goldie, for all that you do, man." And it is a lot. She drops links, um, has my back, as do all of you. What man? Could not ask for a better group of people to spend a rainy Saturday afternoon with. Flower says, Goldie, the message was so straightforward that it hurt me. It was, yes, it was hello. Goldie says, I only live message if I'm close to the tablet. Yeah, I generally, when there's a live and I hear it from my desktop, it is, and if I know that Mocha isn't on the text, then I'll check, thinking that it might be Mocha, and that, if it's something of importance that needs to be handled. So I'd always check. And by importance, it could be that she's at the store and wants to know if I need bananas. And the answer to that is I almost always need bananas. And Mocha's here, and she says hi. And Goldie very kindly dropped Elisa's channel. And I'm looking forward to that channel growing and expanding. The loveliness of Elise reaching more and more people. She will have a successful channel. I think she'll have a successful channel almost right out of the YouTube box, right out of the batch. Is that right? For one, she's just a tremendously creative person. Much, much more so than I am. Hey, my big idea of a YouTube channel was to take my shirt off and do burpees in my basement. So you can see my limited capabilities of, I'm not a YouTube genius, that's for sure. Lee says, loved your father's hugs and the greatest storyteller. One of the last things my father ever did, tell a story to the hospice nurse about the day that he was born in a blizzard in February 1927. No doctor present, and his father told my dad's oldest brother, who was 27 years older than him, to hook up the horse to the sleigh, go over the mountain, get the doctor, and bring him back. And by the time he did, my father was already born. And when the hospice nurse asked him, filling out some paperwork, when's your birthday? And I said February 26, 1927. My father said, yes, I was born in a blizzard, and he told the story. Lee says, Goldie, I just subscribed to your channel. I swore I already subscribed before. Forgive me. We'll surely check it out. Hey, speaking of Goldie's channel, Goldie, how's your garden doing? Goldie says, don't worry about it, lovely Elise. Thank you for the subscription, but I don't drop very much content. Goldie described herself a day or two ago as a happy supporter. And that's a beautiful description of Goldie, a happy supporter. Goldie says she'll knock it out of the ballpark. Definitely. She definitely will. And she's got my full support. Lisa says, I'm honored. I can only hope to be as wonderful as yours, as you all, and courageous. Goldie sums it up. You already are. Says you are and you already are. I agree. Flower says, oh, got to go. I might be there at the second. Well, thank you for coming by. And if you can make it for the second, we always appreciate seeing you and spending time with you. Sorry, I was a bit distracted, especially at the beginning of the talk. Gordy says, dug up the second pedal, still didn't even out of the ground. Would love to see an update sometime. I really enjoyed watching the premiere that you did. For one, just getting the chance to see a little bit of Romania. Flower says, bye. Everyone have a very nice day or night. Thank you. You as well. Gordy says, but I'm not planning on working on it during the holiday. Yeah. Take that, holiday, holy day. Take that for the worship. Take it for those who might have come into the chat later. Tomorrow will be Orthodox Easter. So it is Easter Sunday. Cody says it was only because the bumblebee tea likes flowers. Squirrel Sniper is here. Greeting, beautiful souls. Squirrel Sniper, how are you? And let's turn the conversation back to artists doing amazing things non-traditionally. Our friend Squirrel Sniper, chainsaw art. That is a very dexterous art right there. You know how if you met me in person and I was a chainsaw artist, you know how you could tell that I was a chainsaw artist? Because I would be missing fingers and toes, possibly limbs. That's how you'd be able to tell that I was a chainsaw artist. Gordy says, Eric, you didn't say hi to lovely Mocha. Did I forget? I did say that Mocha was here, and you're right. I don't think I said hi. So hi to the ever lovely Mocha. Unforgivable of me. I will make it up to her by giving her dog Misty an extra treat tomorrow. Holga is back. Holga, I was talking about you. I was talking about your art. This entire For those who don't know, by the way, Elise is a very talented painter, as well as um, she makes jewelry, very beautiful jewelry. For my birthday, I received a wonderful, beautiful self portrait, or not self portrait, uh, portrait of me, as well as a painting of a beautiful little dog. Soon will be hanging somewhere in my office when I can find out what to take down. And if you look, I don't know if you can see it. I'll show it sometime. Back in that corner over my right shoulder, there is a photo that I took of my cat on my yoga mat, a downstairs cat who loves doing yoga with me, loves doing her version of yoga with me. Um, and I sent it to Mocha, who liked it, and she, as a present for me, um, actually had it um, painted over. I'm sure there's an artistic term for it. I don't know what it is. But it takes a photograph and turns it into a painting, and it does it through different styles, impressionistic, um, all kinds of different things. Um, nothing, nothing beats the gift of art. Um, Squirrel Snapper says, "Hi there, Eric. Busy day mowing and trimming for lady next door. Taking my second out to the park for those last hours of sunshine. Awesome. Last hours of sunshine are just as glorious. Some might think more so. For me, it's the sunrise, but sunsets are pretty spectacular." Mocha says, "You not saying hello has caused a wound that will never heal. I'm sure I will find a way to heal it. I'm sure I will do something charming. I'll say something sweet. I'll perform some act of valor. And you'll say, let bygones be bygones." Kay is back. I was checking in on Lewis from time to time. Again, we got to support our burpee brothers and sisters. Kay says hello to everyone in the chat. Hey, our friend Kayla Boo is here. Just chilling here. Hope everyone is well. Thank you, Kayla. I appreciate that. Kayla says, big like. I saw you yesterday morning. You are always often up right when I go out for my morning walk. So right for me, a little before 5 o'clock in the morning, or right around that 5-ish mark. Um, I had the good fortune of our friend Holgo stop by one of my early morning live chat readings 2 or 3 days ago. Lisa says, "That's so awesome to convert photo into painting. That's awesome, okay. Yeah, it was a great gift. And I have all of them hanging. Of course, now my cat has this attitude of self-importance. Look at me, I'm a star. There's no living with her anymore. She um, has to be, scratched and petted on demand instantly. Can't wait." Olga said, "That's really interesting. I can draw pretty well. I have to, writing is a big part of carpentry." That's true. You know what? Um, I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, I could see that. Squirrel Snapper says, the golden half hour. Yeah, Mocha, who's taking was taking a photography class. She just finished up in college. And speaking of cats, one of mine just popped up. Um, had been talking about the golden hour, getting that light. That for me, um, Brahma Muhurta, which is Sanskrit for the hour of God, that um, that's our closest time with the Creator. The veil has been parted for just an instant, and we feel the presence, which is never far away, but we feel it most in depth. We feel it most keenly, intimately at those hours, which isn't actually an hour. It's about 40 minutes or so before proper sunrise, and it lasts for about 45 minutes after. I've read the Persian poet Rumi and his poem urging everyone not to go back to sleep at that hour. That's when secrets are shared. That's when you hear the whisper of God. This is why monks from all traditions are on their knees, praying, chanting, meditating. Hago says, I love watching the sunrise every morning. Yeah, Hago, you're out taking care of your animals at that time, right? Boca says it was just an app that allows you to take a photo and overlay different filters. I took a screenshot and then sent it to the mix tights. Don't tell that to my cat. She thinks it's hand painted with care. Goldie says you're very self-conceited right now, Eric. I'm sure I'll need something. Yeah, it never lasts. I am quickly brought down to earth. Lee says the cat is now a diva. Diva. Olga says the heck is a diva. Diva. I'm pretty sure it's diva, right? It's actually an operatic term. It is with the star of opera, and it's sort of got the another meaning as being someone of high importance and should be treating accordingly. Their beauty and graciousness should be appreciated by all, and that definitely describes a cat. And we get emojis from Kayla Bill. Mocha says, I'm taking more photography classes next fall, which is good. Mocha's a very talented photographer. She will probably quickly in the chat say no, something along the lines, but she is. She's actually a very talented person. It is what it is. I had you up and running, Lewis, checking in on the burpees. I saw you using the massage gun. Man, I think that would feel really good on my low back. I think Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation has it in for me. Olga says yes, except for the last 2 days, I haven't watched it in great detail, like I usually do. It takes about 2 hours to do all my animals. Wow. And I'm very tired, especially since I'm sick. And I usually work out. But I haven't. Usually work out before, but I haven't. You let me know what type of workout you do, Olga. Milka says, nah, see, I told you. But she is. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. When I talk about art, obviously you guys know the passion that I have for that, for creativity itself and inspiration. So I call it like I see it, as far as that's concerned. Elise says, oh, it is what it is, says Duncan bullying you, Eric. He bullied me. Hey, you were part of it. Into that that last routine, the intervals. So it went from 21 minutes of intervals to 28, with the last 2 minutes being held continuously. It was tough. I did that live. A few people popped in. I don't often do my burpee sessions live. Elise says, take care, chat. I have a sick kid, adult, who needs my help. Man, you know what? They're never adults when a mom's concerned. For mom, it is always, always their little kid. Till Keaton, I hope he feels better. I'm thinking of him. He says, bye. It is what it is, says, I'm trying to pretend I had nothing to do with it. The only thing that makes me feel better is knowing that Duncan has it in for you as well. He'll have his suggestion for you. And what also makes me feel better is it is what it is going to have a suggestion. If you have a challenge and you offer it to Lewis, he'll take it. He'll run with it. He'll knock it out of the ballpark. But then he'll say, I did yours. Now please do one of mine. Very graciously. You know, only fair. You got to spread that suffering around somehow, right? Burpees is what Gurdjieff, the philosopher, mystic, voluntary suffering. That we take it on to, not to build our characters, but to purify ourselves. Holger says weights, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, at least a mile run. Nice. The run is usually after the animals. That sounds like a Marines workout, Holger. You're upholding that tradition proudly, my friend. Lee says that is the absolute truth, Eric, and I will let him know. Thank you. He's definitely in my thoughts. Goldie is laughing along with it is what it is. Duncan says he's got something for Duncan. Can't wait to see that. Goldie says, is it Lewis or Louis? L-U-I-S. I'm sorry. You're right. Kay says, L-U-I-S. My mistake. And it is what it is, says Louis Goldie, but I've gotten it all my life. Louis and Louis. I'm good with whatever. I do my best to get it right for you. Olga says, and some burpees, but probably not as good as yours, Yogi. I don't know about that. And if we're going to go up the burpee chain of command, we got the champ. We got two champs right here. We have it is what it is. It was truly, truly the champ. Check out his burpees. He makes it look easy. It's not easy. Anyone who does burpee knows it's not easy. But because his technique is so fluid, so on the money, that even when he does 1,000 burpees, which he's done 1,000 burpees, one go, it looks relatively easy because each rep just as good as last one, just as good as last one, and on and on and on. Cody says, thank you, I didn't want to misspell it. And Holger says, as long as it's a burpee and you're doing the damn thing. This is true. Oh, so I was talking about top of the line burpees. We have our friend Kay Renee. Spent a month doing burpees every single day, and you can follow along. Awesome to see. Holgo says, "Wow, 1,000. That's very impressive." Yep, it's up there on his channel, Holgo. Good opportunity to check it out, and you can like and you subscribe. Um, Inspirational channel because he lets you know this is hard work, but you guys can do it. And our friend Night Watcher is back. Thanks for coming back, Night Watcher. Goldie kindly drops K Renee's link. I love the combination of K's channel. Soil and Fitness Family is how she opens up. And that's it. That's the description. But not just, it sounds soil and fitness, but you got to experience it because it has so much love to the channel. One of my favorite introductions. And then with It Is What It Is, you have maybe the top 3 soundtracks in the Burpee game. You can't top the Jay Jordan soundtrack because it's the Jay Jordan. This is a guy who's putting out his own music. He's living his life. He's being the creator. He's doing exactly what he was born to do, and you can see that. And it was very inspiring for me. Let's see. Night Watcher says, Yogi, I can make a community Discord server for you. First, I'd have to look up and know exactly what that is, which I don't know. And I don't know how I would use it. I appreciate the offer. I'm an extremely low tech person. The highest tech I've ever done is right here using 2 devices at once. And even that scares me just a little bit. You saw when I pushed that button and I thought, I wonder if this will fix the issue. And everything went haywire for a second. So that's a very kind offer. Goldie drops Lewis's link. Goldie says it's a place to chat with people without needing to go live. That's nice. Is it affiliated with YouTube, or is it like its own separate thing? Always nice chatting with my friends. So I actually have up here Squirrel Sniper's channel. And you can see some really good woodworking. Really good. You can see some excellent woodworking. Amazing the work that you can do, Squirrel Sniper, with a chainsaw. I mean, you don't think of a chainsaw traditionally as being something that would offer the ability to make art. You think of it for cutting; it's a tool. So to be able to take something like that and do these really intricate designs is just amazing. Cody says, but you want to grow your YouTube channel? Yep, that is the priority. says independent, but you can also drop links in there. Interesting. Not what it says. It's its own separate thing, like Facebook or Insta. Olga says, my favorite quote from you is, I should be kept at least 10 meters away from all electronics. This is true. I might even have to expand it past electronics, and I might have to increase the distance. It actually might actually expand into mileage. And Goldie very kindly drops Squirrel Sniper's link. Man, I feel blessed that I have some really great artists coming here to chat. And yesterday and the day before, I actually talked quite a bit about that expansive view of what an artist is. For me, here's one thing: an artist works with and through kindness. Um, I really hope people begin to see themselves as an artist and start living their life as an expression of that art. For me, Goldie, she's an artist. She's an artist of kindness. She's an artist of life. Look at what she does here. She is just helping, aiding, being kind. That's art, because life without kindness, life without compassion, life without empathy is lacking. Night Watcher says, what should I name the server? That's a good question. I got to be honest, I don't know how much I would participate on it right now. As Goldie said, the big focus for me is growing my YouTube channel. And even that, it's a big focus, but it's still, I'm here a couple times a day. But in the whole slice of my life, it's not that huge of a thing either. Without my meditation, without my breath work, without my yoga, without my time being silent, being out in nature, that's actually the true focus and mission of my life, is gaining that inner quietness so that it expands and expands and expands, living a life of, I liken it to a quiet life of yoga, living a life of true inspiration, compassion, and empathy, and then coming here to YouTube to share it. Goldie says, I love that one too, Holgo. And why are you making them explode? They just seem to go haywire, and they don't work. They don't cooperate well with me at all. I'm so fortunate. One, I'm fortunate that Mocha knows how much I avoid those complications. So when she gets me something like that, the little camera, it is it's Eric proof, meaning even I can't screw it up. I've managed. It seems like today, I went to take a final little film clip of mist rising off of our little pond, and realized the memory was full because I accidentally turned it on in my pocket as we were walking. So I have about 20 minutes of pocket film. I will not post it on YouTube, but it is a film of a camera in my pocket. It's a film of my pocket. That's why I should be kept away from electronics. Gordy says, you want to give yourself space for real life, Eric. Yes. And here's the thing about space. we're all spacious, we're all open, we're all um, capacity. I love that term, capacity, because capacity means to hold. That emptiness serves a purpose, and that's to hold life, to hold the world. Um, but it often seems that the more space we create, the more that we try to fill it with stuff and things and going places and activity, instead of just letting it be, letting life, just for a little bit maybe, be spacious and open, and just to sit there. Nothing more is needed. Um, Goni and I have talked about this, and she offered me a wonderful quote from St. Paul. Just being content, the loveliness of being content with where you are now. Not everything needs to be rushed towards or pushed away or anything. Just to be. This is why with Destiny, it was, we sort of termed it the fellowship of beingness. We get together here just to be, just to be ourselves. Cody says, well, Eric, please set yourself on a different frequency. Yeah, I need to find like a uh, low grade, low grade yoginess. Um, your raw yogi energy is too much for electronics. That's how I hurt my back, believe it or not. Claiming that I will use my yoginess to fit into a little tiny. Two cars were parked too close to my car, a neighbor's car and my brother's car, and there wasn't a big enough space to get in. And Mocha said, "Let me crawl through the back, and I'll pull the car out, and you'll be able to get in." And I said, "No, I've trained my entire life for this. This is why I'm a yogi. I will ease each joint in independently, and I will glide in fluid-like." And it was going along fine, and then something shifted, and pain jolted up and down my back. This was an old injury from the 1990s, but it just resurfaced because of that. Um, and I've been in pain ever since, 4 or 5 months ago. Um, so, yeah, uh, sometimes I get ahead of myself. I also have to realize that things that I could do a decade ago, I might still be able to do, but there'll be a consequence for it, that I will pay a little bit of a price for it. Goldie says, I'm talking about the space-time continuum. And so you made yourself space. I tried to make myself space. It did not work. Olga says, I can totally imagine you doing this. Almost always, those things are from my own, they're my own undoing. Goldie says, on a serious note, I'm sorry that you were in pain. Thank you. I appreciate that. It is getting better. But I had to totally rearrange my yoga asana practice, taking out poses that I've done for decades, um, and build it back up. So things are getting better. I didn't miss a single day of burpees, and I still did some pretty big routines. The reason being is, like, warming up, I would feel good while I was doing something that I would feel good, but then I'd spend the rest of the day in a whole lot of pain. But I had that brief moment of feeling pretty good. So, I think it's going on, it's almost 2:30. It's just about 2:30. I should probably call it an afternoon. Um, I'll be back about 5-ish this time. Uh, Goldie, I know that we are approaching holiday time, so I want to wish you a very peace-filled, and beautiful Easter. Enjoy a sacred day. And just send out a bunch of love and appreciation for all of you guys. I started off a little lost in this conversation at the very beginning. Uh, I don't know why. Not a struggle, but um, I love the way it turned out. Can't ask for anything better than that. Um, Gordy says, I'll say goodnight. I won't be in later. As expected, my friend. Again, really enjoy that day. Um, Holga says, all right, Yogi, it's been a great conversation, and I can't wait to do it again. Thank you. Me as well. Always enjoy it. We say, Christ is risen. Uh, and is that Christos? I can't see the last part. Christos a in viet Latin? Is that Latin, Goldie? I will have to see if I can look that up. Latin's a beautiful language. Um, one of my favorite things. I don't have a whole lot of good memories of going to Catholic school, but the occasionally mass was held in Latin, and it had such a holy feel to it that it is missing when it's done in English. Not that English is a bad language, not that English isn't a beautiful language. I mean, come on, William Shakespeare. But there's something magical about those languages, something magical about Hebrew, something magical about Latin, something magical about Sanskrit. So, Goldie, Christ has risen. He has risen. And we answer, and he has risen indeed. Beautiful. And he has indeed. Goldie says Romanian. I don't know if I've actually heard. I'm sure I have, but I can't recall Romanian spoken. So I'm going to look that up. Goldie says good night. Night Watcher says, let's see. I made the Discord and says good night. I'll quickly give a link. Yep, I'll be looking for the link, or you can post it on my. You can leave it in the chat somewhere, or in a comment section. Gordy says, but Romania, French, Italian, and Spanish is Latin-based languages. Yeah, they're referred to as the Romance languages, right? I think it's those. That watcher says haven't set the rules yet, so give me a second. Gordy says you won't be able to post a link here unless you have a spanner. I didn't know that's what they were called. So you can post it on, just leave it as a comment on one of a video. And that'll work. And I'll look it up. Hey, Night Watcher, I appreciate that. It's a lot of work. And that was a very kind thing to do. Thank you. With that, guys, I'll see everyone later or tomorrow. Night Watcher, Goldie, Hoggo, excuse me, Elise, Scroll Sniper, Kay. It is what it is. Of course, Flower. can never forget Flower, our friend Kayla Boo. Uh, Brian Lane was here. And, oh, Amy, our new friend, Amy. Definitely don't want to forget her. Um, and as ever and always, man, our good friend Goldie. Uh, Thanks really for making the chat what it was. Um, Much appreciated. You guys have a really good day and a good night.